Thank you.
Coming to now, guys, we are moving to the advanced topics in Python, which is called NumPy. Uh, I have clearly said at last time I always use a list topic, but there is some advanced topics in Python. We are just going to discuss few topics which are advanced and what are the uses and how we will use that. I am today we are taking that the library called NumPy. What NumPy stands for? NumPy stands for the numerical Python. When you want to when scientists want to do some large calculations, they will go to the library called NumPy in Python. NumPy is a library used for working with arrays. You can see there is an arrays concept in uh, C. It is directly similar to here also. Arrays concept is both are same in C and Python, but you can think that here we have the concept list. Why are using the arrays? I will explain that. It also has functions for working in domains of linear algebra, Fourier transforms, and matrices. I said that this Python is used for the mathematics. While in the calculation of a scientist, they need to calculate the algebraic expressions. There are some Fourier transforms and matrix calculations. In using such big concepts, you need to apply some Python library concepts. Here, they will use the NumPy library. 1 minute, guys. I get some disturbance in here. Sorry for disturbance, guys. NumPy is an open source project and you can also freely access it. Whenever you want to do some high range of mathematical calculations, you can directly use as a NumPy. In Python, we have a list that serves the purpose of arrays, but it is slow process. You can generally see that we have the concept list. I said that with using the list, we can develop any type of concepts in the Python. Yeah, it's always true. You can develop any type of concepts in the Python using a single list. But the only problem was using the list for the higher mathematical calculations. It is 50 times slower than the normal array. Just imagine. Suppose you want to calculate some weather reports using matrix. There will be some advanced topics in the future. The scientist uses the matrix problems for calculating the weather reports in our daily life. We just need the weather report within an hour or within a minutes. But if you use a list concept for their projects, it will take some week and
Ishwar, can you
months
please
of
raise
time.
your voice? It's somewhat not audible.
You want little bit louder?
Yeah, it's enough.
Okay. Whenever you use the concept list in type of real life applications like some weather concepts or machine learning concepts, it will take months and hours of some days and months time to give an output as a prediction. But it is so such a slow process we are not accepting from the Python. Such kind of things, there is an advanced module NumPy which brings the concept array, which is 50 times faster than the list. Imagine, 50 times is not a very little thing. That's why we want to learn this topic called arrays in a Python. It is very easy. We can create in any dimension of arrays using the you know that there is a one dimensional array, two dimensional array, three dimensional, any dimension array you can create. The arrays are frequently used in a data science. Data science means like machine learning. Today everywhere there is a data science. Without data science there is no companies going to work, and our daily life is also depending upon data and science. Suppose if you open your phone, you can see weather report, and if you go to your mails, mails also sometimes you can check. some mails are automatically going to spam, some mails are automatically get into the promotion, some are getting into updates, some are getting into inbox, some are getting into the social media. How the message is automatically this Gmail is dividing this mail has to go to particular session? How? Using data science concept by Python. This Gmail is going to divide this all these topics into the particular sessions, and very speed and resource are very important. Here speed is very top, that's why Gmail you are getting mails are very fastly taking. If your friend send the Gmail of a large file, you will get within less than 30 seconds. Less than 30 seconds. How such a file is big, you will get as original message into your mail. That is the fast resource accessible using the arrays. Okay, let's move on to this topic and we'll check how to create an array. For first of all, if you want to create an array, we want to just import NumPy. You have to import NumPy as a library. Now this import statement will use to import the library called NumPy. Now I'm going to create the array. Some ARR is a variable. I'm NumPy dot array 1 2 3. Now I'm going to print this array. See here, it is an array with one dimension. Simply this is one dimensional array, you know that. Well, just it is in a sequence manner. You can also create this in different way. How? Always whenever you want to create an array, you have to use as a NumPy. NumPy dot array. It will be seems to be somewhat difficult when you are using a large programming. So simply I just create as a NumPy as np. Now this all this file is stored as a np. By using the small np variable, we just create the array. Now I am creating a two-dimensional array. Now without use, just I am simply using just np array. I'm going to print this array. See here, this is a two-dimensional array. We all know that how array will be how array here. Array is nothing. When we go to arrays concept, it is similarly like to be matrix only. You can see here A, B, C hash. See here, generally in mathematics textbooks we see this kind of explanations while using the arrays. This is a matrix. According to our problem, this is the values we have. There is a no row C. This is our two-dimensional array here. It is a matrix. What type of matrix it is? It is a 2x3 matrix. Okay, I think you got understood. Now let me say how to access this array. Again, I copy this code. Yeah, now I have an array two-dimensional. I want to print this element. Can someone say what is the index of this element? It is a 0th row and first column. B is the first column. 0th row, first column. So I want print that particular element to 0th row, first column. Let me run this. See here, what is the element 2? 2 is printed. By this way, similar to in matrix, we can access this any dimension of arrays. If you want to create a if you want to create more than such a dimension of arrays, there is another way. Similarly, import here. While creating the array, I have created two-dimensional array. If I want to convert this two-dimensional array into five-dimensional array, I just simply n dimension is equal to pass a value 5. Then this function automatically convert this two-dimensional array into five-dimensional array. I'm just going to print this line. Invalid keyman. Wait a minute. Something is problem. I think it is closing braces are somewhat problem. Let me take one type. Let me run this. Okay, I have understood that problem. What is the problem means here n dimension spelling is wrong. This is the value what we have to use, n dim. Now I'll run this one. See here, the matrix is now converted into five dimension. You will be a little bit confused why such braces. If you try to access this braces in a proper alignment order like this, you will get the answer how it is a five dimension. We are not going to write
Sure,
this
can you
all.
once again repeat 22 one? Students are asking.
This one.
22.
Yeah, okay. 22 line. Okay, 22 cell. Please observe this cell. It is the matrix A, B, C. Similarly, A, B. This is the two-dimensional array. I have represented this two-dimensional array in the form of a matrix. For I think you all have seen these topics in intermediate mathematics. In intermediate mathematics, you will all know this one. This is the column headings. This is the column headings. This is the row headings. I want to print this element 2. Such code is written in the cell number 2, 22. How? Now see, what is this row? This row was 0th row, row number 0, first row. Array 0, first row 1. In row 1, we have index 0. This is the first row, but the index was 0. This is the 0th index row. This is the first index row. Another one is the second index row, and repeated and so on. In similar way, this is the first column. So it is called a 0th index. This is the second column. So if I want to print this number, how will we print the number? To print, we need to pass row comma column index. See, what is the column index? First row index. This is the row. I want to print this element 2. So I want to know about the which row index it is. It is 0th row indexes. So I passed here as a 0. Next, I want to know this column index, B column index. B column index what? 0. This is 1. So I passed here a value 1. That's why array of 0 comma 1 means you will get the value 2. Did you understand? Am I clear about the 20th cell? Srinivas, is it clear?
Yes, it is clear.
Yes, Ishwar.
Okay. This is accessing the array. Single dimensional array is similar to the list, so you can access directly accessing the indexing values. But coming to multi-dimensional arrays, we have to go through the matrix in intermediate. You all know that how intermediate mathematics you will see matrix types. You can similarly go, you just place your book on paper and try to establish like this kind of concepts. You will get the how to use these things. If you want to convert any dimensional array to particular dimensional array, you have to follow this syntax. Here I have passed a two-dimensional array and I have created as ndim is equal to 5. Then it will create a five-dimensional array. Now let me see some operations in NumPy. I'm going. This is an array. I will just take a simple one-dimensional array. I'm not going to such complex things like multi-dimensional arrays. This A is a one array with 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 elements. Now I'm creating another array. This is 2, 3, 5. Now I'm going to just simply add A plus B. What will be happen? We will get a single array 1 plus 2, 3. Now 2 plus 4, 6 and 3 plus 5 as a 8. Just running it. See here. This 3 is obtained by adding first index value in the array 1 and second index value in the array 2 as a 3, 1 plus 2. And similarly way, the corresponding values in the index values in array A is added with the corresponding index values of array B. This is how array addition is applied. And similarly way, we can also apply array subtraction also. Subtraction. For such thing, we just want to change here just a sign. I'm going to run this. See here, the first value is subtracted from the second value, and here two values subtracted from 4. This is the way how addition and subtraction is done in arrays. Let me go into dot product. I think in vectors concept, you see the dot product. Suppose A, B, C. A comma B comma C is a one vector A, and B A1 comma B1 comma C1 is the another vector B. If you want to know dot product of AB, what you will get? A into A1 plus B into B1 plus C into C1. This is the way generally mathematics will you get the answer. Suppose we try the same topic. We try the same topic for this two arrays. For such thing, we have to apply dot of A comma B. We just run it.
Ishwar, is it possible for you to demonstrate in two-dimensional? The students are asking.
Two-dimensional is such complex thing. It will you get difficult to understand all the people. If someone wants two-dimensional, they can try their ones. From this session, I'm going only single dimension only. If
Yeah,
they
okay,
want,
thanks.
please make them to try themselves. Because everyone wants to understand this the dot product. Okay, applying the dot product, we have to use NP. Now I'm trying this. See here what happened. Because for one dimension I have applied this formula. For two dimension, someone asked two dimension. I will explain that too. First of all, I will go with one dimension. See here what happened. A into A1. A into A1 means 1 into 2. 2 next plus 2 into 4 is 8 plus 3 into 5, 15. 1 plus 8 plus 15 is equals to not 1. This is 2 plus 8 plus 15 is equal to 25. I think you got the answer. Has 1 star 2 plus 2 star 4 plus 3 star 5 is equals to 2 plus 8 plus 10 equals to 25. Not this 10, this is 5, 50. See here, this is the answer how you get when you use a single dimension. Someone asked a multi-dimensional dot product. When you apply multi-dimensional dot product, it is nothing but matrix multiplication. I have already said that when you go to multi-dimensional array, it is similar to mathematics called as a matrix. When you go to multi-dimensional array, it will apply like a just a matrix multiplication. So I'm going to show you how matrix multiplication is possible. Suppose if you want to apply a matrix multiplication, what is the rule you need to require? You need to require the possible multiple matrix combination only. So now I'm going to take here now I'm going to take a tuple concept. I'm going to take clearly another three-dimensional array. See here. Why I'm not considering the n-dimensional array means in array dot product is somewhat different. It will get an object returns. We are not going to such complex things. See here, it is a three-dimensional matrix. I have already shown that here in clearly in above. Now we are taking two three-dimensional matrix. One is A, another is B. Now I am going to apply dot product to both this matrix. NP dot A comma B. See what will be happen. List indices. I think I got some trouble here. Okay, similarly here also it repeating object, so I cannot directly use here as an object. So R is equal to NP dot A comma B.
Comma is missing, sir. Can you please?
Yeah, okay. Yes, I got it. See here. Sorry for the guys. I can't see the where I missed the comma. Okay. See here, it is matrix multiplication is possible. You all know how matrix multiplication will be done in mathematics. I think I'm not going to explain such a clean how matrix multiplication is going to done. If you want to make a matrix multiplication, just a 2 lines answer in using advanced module. But if you want to go with a C, you will get I think you will get 20 lines or 30 lines code. But in using the advanced concepts in this Python, you will get just a 3 or 4 lines code. This is how Python will do mathematics very simply. There are large number of modules you can also see. I will show you in where you can see these topics. And for next topic, I will tell another thing. Product. Suppose we have an array. Sometimes you see in problems like product of all numbers as given. Suppose there is a problem, you have to take the product of all numbers. Simply I take all elements into an array and now apply the function np dot product, and I will pass an array. Now just run here. See here, 1 2s are 2, 2 3s are 6. Simply all the elements in the array are get to be producted. And there is you can also find LCM in C. You have to do large things like you have to create a function and you have to write to use for loops to check it is a to find the LCMs and GCDs. But in Python, it is very simple. There are default functions. Suppose a is 2, b is 4. I'm going to print LCM of 2 comma 4. Just np dot LCM of a comma b. I'm going to run this. See, just it returns the LCM. Similarly way you can also find in GCD also. I'm just copying this. Just all these are default functions in Python. You can check a lot more of functions, and you can also do practice. I'm just changing this. See here, greatest common divisor. It shows 2. I will show you where you can do all this. You just go to W3 Schools. There in W3 Schools, you can go to the Learning Python. When you go to here, you will see here Python modules, which are very, very popular. When you go to, if you want to choose the field like a data scientist or a data science path, you have to, it is very, very important to learn these 3 modules, NumPy, Pandas, and Skitlearn. In this session, we have just explained this NumPy. In NumPy, we have covered only few topics. If you want to know more the topics, you just going to refer here in W3 Schools. See here, there is a simple arithmetic, rounding decimals, logs, summations, products, difference, LCM, GCD, and trigonometry, hyperbolic, set operations. You can also see here data distribution, random permutations, Seaborn modules, normal distribution, binomial distribution, Poisson distribution. I think all you have all these names in mathematics in intermediate. In future also you will see these topics in M3 or M4 subjects, normal distribution and binomial distribution, Poisson distribution. All this mathematical operation in implementing in other languages very, very hard, but in Python there is simply there are built-in functions you can directly use and you can learn. For today's session, up to now we have completed NumPy modules. If you want to know and you can refer more things. So NumPy module is covered. Now we are going to talk some advanced programming logics. Here advanced programming logic means I will explain how we have to do a programming. Now we are considering a one small question, how programming logic we will do. Here what is the program was, we take student data and marks and calculate their average. This is the program what we are going to do. Suppose for this thing, input type will in I'm also giving the input. This is the input. How input will be means, first student name, next marks for each student. This session will be repeated until records is ended. Now we are going to code such kind of question. This is the way how outside the companies are going to ask the questions in competitive exams. I will show now I'm going to start to code. Now I'm considering a student as a list. Next, marks has another list. Now I'm going to read an input has number of students. Now what we have to read? First we read the how many number of students. Now after every student name I will append into the students list, marks I will append into the marks list. For I in range of n. First I'm going, you cannot directly read input into the list, so such thing I am going to just read now. Name is equal to input. Next marks, m is equal to int of input. Now I am going to add this name and marks into the corresponding list. See here what students dot append. I think you heard this append function at yesterday class. Name. Next marks dot append m. After the completion of this for loop, I will just going to print students. See what will be happen. It is asking the input. First 3 students. One is Ram. Ram got 78 marks. Next, what happened? Students is not okay. It is wrong, but it is a student. Again, I'm going to repeat this one. 3 students. Ram 56 marks. Jay 67 marks. Kumar 59 marks. See what will happen. It reads names into a list called student, and I have printed this list over here. But what is our problem? We are going to calculate the average of marks of all students. So how you will calculate the average? You have to make just a sum of all the list. Print sum of marks. See what will be happen when you try to print the sum of marks. I'm going to just run this. Now I'm giving only two students. See, both the marks will be summated. Now average means total number of students. How do you get total number of students? I will show you. Total is equal to total number of students. What? Length of students. If you don't want to do this, we have already read the value n. N is the total number of records. I mean total number of students only. So just simply divided by n. It is enough. We will get the average of all the students. I'm giving 3 students. Ram 89 marks. Jay 97 marks. Kumar 67 marks. Simply see, average of total class was 83. You can also reduce this code into very simple, like only 4 lines or 5 lines. That is up to your capability. When you do more practice on your systems, on Python programs, you will get to understand how you can utilize this programming language, how you can do programming sessions on the programs. If you want to do more practice, I will suggest you few websites. See here, this is the HackerRank. HackerRank is one of the most popular website where you can where you can start your program. Here you see I have logged into my account. This is my college ID account. By the time of your third year or second year ending, second semester, our college will introduce this platform to learn. Before that, you can also start right now also, because you have completed the Python basics. You can just go to simply start the Python programming and start practicing uh, programs. If you can't understand, please keep in touch with your followed seniors or lecturers. They will help you to how to solve the problems. One platform is a hacker rank, and there is another platform which is called Hacker Earth. This is very popular because there are a few companies directly recruiting the employees from this platform, which are experienced peoples. uh, Suppose our Infosys company, every year they're recruiting the students. They are giving the problems from this website. While they are going to test, they will block these questions in this website. So then the students cannot search from the internet. Such If you want to get such an expertise level, please use this platform. This platform has a very advanced topics. Here also you can have Python sessions. You can also go to here in Python. You can work on more problems. Next one was Hacker Earth. This is one platform. This is an American platform which is CodeChuff. It is also very most popularly see very much popular. You can also here also there are a lot of topics you can learn, and you can also practice. It has a very high level and advanced levels, which is similar to Hacker Earth only. If anyone wants to become very most high developer in programming language, you have to do more practice on Hacker and CodeChuff. For they has a beginning and basic level, you have to go for Hacker rank. That's all about our today's session, guys. If you have any doubts regarding today's session, please comment on chat box.
Yeah, thank you, Ishwar.
Is there any doubts regarding Python and where to practice?
Ishwar, can you explain the student marks thing once again? Yeah,
I will show.
Can just summarize it and explain it?
Actually, what here I have done means, I will show you. I have considered a list called student. This is a list. And again, I have considered another list for marks. Now, I have read how many records. This input will read the value from the command prompt 3. I will explain this code in online compiler. See here.
Sure, can you? Yeah.
See here. Here in this third line, we are reading how many records are present. So records is stored in n. Now I am iterating the for loop for such n record times. Now after first iteration, I am reading the input name of the student, and after that I am reading the input marks of the student. Now after reading the name and marks, I'm just appending this value. I mean, append means I'm just adding this name into the students data and adding marks into the marks list. So the student, after completing all these iterations, the values of all the students is inserted into students data, and all the values of marks is inserted into marks data. Now, after that, we have the some function on list. We can directly apply this. We get the sum of all the marks in the list. After that, I have just divided to get average. I have just divided by using the n. The n means total number of students or total number of records. Why I'm using this online compiler means it is not necessary to give inputs again and again. We have option. I think some. Okay. See here in text box, I can give directly inputs. Not only 3 students. If I want to give five students also. And that just I want to now run it. See here, output is 70.4. Here 70.4 is the average of all students' marks. This is the way. And you can also see the execution time is 0.3 seconds. Execution time will be differ from the sometimes in the compiler. Not for every time execution time is not same. See here execution time is 0.5 seconds. This is the way how you can do the programming. Is it clear, Ajay?
Yeah, yes, it is clear. I hope. Chat, is it okay? Yeah, I think it's fine, Ishwar. That's all up to today's session. And we have successfully completed the Python workshop. I sincerely suggest you to don't stop from here. We teach you just basics. If you want to become a real programmer, you have to do practice on these websites like HackerRank, HackerEarth, HackCodeChef. This will help you to improve your logical capability and to become a good programmer. Please don't stop from right now. This is not enough for you to crack into real walls and to get a big developer in a programming. If you want to get a programmer, you have to do more practice on programs. Please continue your programming in future also. By keeping this workshop basics in your mind, you can do more. Is there any more doubts regarding this session? We are going to end this session and we'll share you a link of assignment in a Telegram group. We'll inform you in 10 minutes. Mentors, please check on chat box. Is there any more doubts? I think there are no more doubts about technical stuff, Ishwar. Okay. Anything? And one more question. Chat asking about the retest, right? Yesterday's exam. I think there won't be any retest, but if most of you guys have missed the exam, I think it would be better we discuss and then we inform you about it. And we will discuss about this issue and we will inform you in the group, Telegram groups. Yes, certification will be in around a week. We have to validate your session performance and assessments and feedback also. So it might take a time. Previous class, yes, the recorded sessions will be provided to you, but it may take a time because the files are a large amount of size. So it may take a little bit of time.
Today's assessment will be around I think 12 Ishwar.
We'll inform the assignment session in 10 minutes in Telegram group. I mean, which time we are going to giving the link. We talk with our
Okay,
organizers.
we will notify you at 12 p.m. in the group. Okay.
Okay, guys.
Uh,
Prithvi, are you there?
Have any questions related to workshop or the sessions that we have previously covered, or any related to college?
Hello.
Yes, Akshit.
You can give the assessment at 12 o'clock.
Okay, guys. Can you? I think you heard that the assignment link will be shared in 12, and the assignment is start from 12. Okay, guys.
Okay, don't miss the assessments, as certification is based on your performance in the assessments as well.
I really suggest you guys cracking the in our campus. We get a lot of opportunity for jobs while you cracking the company exam. Python will be very
Wait.
useful because. Hello, Ajay. Hello, Ajay. To crack this.
Continue, Ishwar.
Actually, I have cracked a few companies like TCS, Infosys, and a few small companies also. Python helps me a lot because Python has many inbuilt modules. So coding stuff is get decreased. If you want to make a small code, bit of code, you have to use lot of things. But in Python, there are very simple. So such capabilities has made me to do code. So I really suggest you that if you're going with Python, please make more practice, because if you practice more on Python, I really say that any programming language cannot stand in front of you, because you are such a hard, you are seen to be such capable than all others. That's all up to guys today. You can leave now. Prudvi,
Guys,
use native index. If you want to, I have already told you this. See here, this is reversing. I think I have mentioned this thing in last class also. Native indexing used for reverse or accessing the list from the reverse.
I hope that clears your doubt. Once again, explain slicing topic with negative indexing, as he has already done it.
Okay. Ajay, he wants to again explain the slicing index from native.
Yes, sure.
Okay, I will show you. Please don't remember all the slicing topics. I think in real time we're not going to use all those things. We maybe I think we have to remember only a few main topics, like just reversing a list. If you want to reverse a list, you use native indexing, like column -1. This is enough. It is enough to remember about the native index. Please don't remember all those things. It will affect you on other things. See here, just this is enough. If you access, if you want to print, if you want to know last element, you just go through -1. If you want to reverse the list, you go to column -1. If you want to access a particular range, please go with the positive indexing only. Don't use native indexing, because native index also works, but a native index is a little bit difficult, and it will make you confused. So just please remember up to these two topics only, native indexing, and use positive indexing only. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, Ishwar. Assignment box will be given after 2 days of time. The 3 assessment mark will be given at once. Yeah, it will be sent to your mail, assignment box. Yeah, okay. And most of you guys are afraid that Python would be difficult in the starting of the session. So how is Python now? Good, a lot easier. Yes, that's what we are trying to convey. Yeah, easier than C. Yes, yes. And it is way more easier, and it is we can freely manipulate and do code in Python when compared to C. Yeah, yeah. We need to write a bunch of code just to print or just to scan an array. Here we can just do it in a single line.
Yeah, I will also show you one more thing. Suppose I will show you one thing. This is the advanced reading concepts. Suppose we have a string, hi, hello, how are you? This is a string. If you want each word into an array, what you will do? Here in Python, it is very simple. Suppose a is equal to list. Now I will map it. What type of its data? It is a string type. So string input dot split. It seems to be difficult, but once you remember this logic, it will be very useful. Now I'm just printing a. Print a. See what will be happen. It is asking input. Now I'm passing this input. See, list is created. Every word is separated. It is very simple. Again, I will run this. I think it's actual default compiler take it as a string. It is not necessary to place the inverted quotations. See here, hi, hello, how are you? But if you want to read this kind of string into a particular array, it will be very hard in any other programming language, not such simple as in a C, not such simple as in Python. See, this is the way you use the map function. Map has some additional properties also. If you want to see, suppose a comma b is equal to map 1 comma 2. Let me print a comma b. Run it. I think map is not working like this. If you want to map, if you want to pass the values to values, you can just give give this also. You can't use a map. Just see. Directly you can pass like this. Swapping is very simple in suppose you want to swap a two numbers, a comma b is equal to b comma a. Swapping is done. See here, actually a value is 2, b value is 3, but now see, it is swapped. But swapping is not swapping is very simple in Python, but you see in swapping you use a is equal a is equal to b is equal to some temporary variable, and some temporary variable is equal to a. Without temporary variable, we use Python like this. There can also some other logics without temporary variable also. Please keep learn all those kind of logics and utilize improve your programming skills. When you go through programming, you can see a lot of things. There will be a lot of techniques in Python which have not held in this workshop. You can also learn those logics in future, but when you work on it.